purpose of a machine learning engineer, right, in your system. Otherwise, why would you need one? Okay. So where does MLOps comes in? So before we understand the concept of MLOps, let us understand like where does it originate from and what is it all about. Okay. That has been mentioned over here. Okay. There was this, has the slide moved ahead? Can anybody just give me a heads up on that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are on a slide that says getting to know it better. So we are trying to, interact with MLOps a little bit more, trying to get to know MLOps a little bit more. Okay, so where did this concept of MLOps originate? Okay, MLOps, again, it's an acronym for machine learning operations. I hope I made it very clear in the first statement itself. Okay, and it is like the origin of it, or maybe the need of MLOps came up when there was this technical paper that was released in 2005, not published, released is not the right word, published in 2015, which talked about, like, I'll just give you the basic abstract of that paper. You can obviously look it up. It talked about a certain technical debt, okay, a certain technical debt in software engineering. Now, what is this technical debt? Basically, what you're trying to do, if in layman's language I try to explain it, you're trying to meet the deadlines of a company. You're trying to meet the deadlines of a company by doing some hard coding just to make it available. Okay. Can we please stay on mute if you're not having any doubts, sir? Okay. Sorry for the trouble. Anyway, so hidden technical debt in machine learning systems is precisely that it's like analogous to what we see in software engineering, that to, like, if I want to put it in layman's language, just to complete your project, you are just copying your assignment, or not even copying, you're just writing some basic formula and not writing the statements. Okay, just so that you can finish the assignment on time. Later on, when we have to refer to this assignment for your exams, you don't know, you're lost, and so you have to again go back to your textbook and again do hard coding on it. Okay, so this is exactly where people came in, that okay, fine, you can deploy, you can use a machine learning and train your machine on certain data, and what about the next stage? Okay, what about the next stage? You need to make it available to the people. Fine, you need to make it available to the business head. But aren't there some issues associated with it? Aren't there some costs, some general problems that may turn up tomorrow? So how will you keep a track of that throughout? Okay, that is where the concept, like, that was the problem that was generated, and the solution came up in the form of MLOps. Okay, so what is MLOps? Look at this funky picture that I've put up over here. That it's the jack of all trades. It does an end-to-end work for you. Okay, how it does the exact end-to-end work will be discussed in detail in another live session that's coming up on MLOps. As of now, we'll just discuss the brief introduction of MLOps and how it helps. Okay, what exactly is MLOps? You can just look at this diagram. I think this diagram is sufficient to make you understand everything. It's a combination of DevOps, machine learning, and data engineering. Okay. Now, what is DevOps exactly? Those who are in the computer science, those who are coming from a computer science background would know this term very well. So DevOps is something which is generally associated with software. It is a principle, or it's a technology that allows you to continuously train and continuously develop and deploy the updates in a particular software application that has been put on production. Okay, really complicated if you don't know these terms well. No problem, I'll bring it down to you. Okay. Every day I wake up in the morning, this happens to me. I don't know how many of you Android users face this thing. It's not an issue, but it happens to me. Every day I wake up in the morning, the first notification that pops up is Google updates. You have these app updates, 35 apps, app updates pending. 35 not in our case, maybe in my mom's case, yes, she is not a very fragile, very fluent mobile user. I am, so I get 10 updates. So who's coming up with those updates? What is that update all about? I was happy with WhatsApp. Why do you need to change it? Why? That update that takes place generally happens through a DevOps engineer. Okay, what they're trying to do is that whenever a software application is built, it is put in production. Once it's put in production, there are updates that are done to it. Okay, now you can add a feature, you can remove some bugs in it. Okay, so that continuous experimentation that is being done by the software engineers, and then the continuous, like whatever result comes out of that experimentation is to be applied, right? Like you do some experiment, you see, oh my god, there's something wrong with this, let's quickly change it. Come on, you change it, and then you see that there's an update that pops up. So that is done by the DevOps engineer. So if I want to put it in simple layman's language, the DevOps team or a DevOps engineer will continuously experiment on the existing software and modify the code so that there are updates and there are removal of bugs, new features added to the software application, but it is not necessary. It is not necessary. I will only do it. Like for instance, if I am working for Paytm, and PhonePe has come up with a new feature, I will always want to do it. I will always want to add that new feature to my app as well, and then maybe add a few other things so that this surpasses PhonePe. PhonePe has seen that he's added a couple of extra features, they'll add some more, and this race keeps on continuing. That is actually how development takes place, right? So that is the whole concept of DevOps, okay? They basically tend to upgrade your software application, not out of necessity, but just out of competition or maybe out of some bugs which have come up maybe, okay, some user complaints. Coming to the machine learning aspect of it, of course, it's machine learning operations. The name suggests it has to have machine learning in it, okay? So it will involve a certain data, which is going to be provided by the data engineer. So let me club these two terms together. So the data engineer is going to get the data. Okay, obviously he's going to get the data. There are different tools for that. We'll discuss that in detail maybe in the next session when we talk about data acquisition and everything. So the data is fetched from different sources, and this data is cleaned, it's processed, it's analyzed, like what is wrong in it, what is amazing in it, what are the features which will help me to perfectly predict an outcome. Okay, so all these features are taken up into consideration by the data engineer. Once the data engineer is done with this, he provides the data to the machine learning engineer, and the machine learning engineer will now use different algorithms. What are these different algorithms, guys? Please go back to the previous example. Different channels, different teams playing cricket, but the same person, that's me, watching these matches on different channels, but learning what? Cricket, okay? So if a machine has to be trained to predict, like say, like I gave the example of the heart stroke, whether a person can get a heart stroke based on his lifestyle or her lifestyle. Okay, this machine has been asked to predict this, but there are different ways in which it can be done. There are different mediums through which the machine can be taught that how you can identify based on the lifestyle. Okay, so all of this is coming under one roof, which is machine learning. The data is being fed by the data engineer, and it's a combination of DevOps as well. So machine learning will not only involve machine learning and data engineering, it will also involve, once this model has been trained and put into deployment, go back to the example that I gave you about about DevOps. What are they doing? They are continuously experimenting on it. Okay, so they are. Yeah.
Hi, Sagnika. Sorry to interrupt. Could you please window your share hiding the content.
Okay, is it gone now, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. So that's about it, guys. So how DevOps comes into MLOps is that it is basically letting you continuously evaluate your model. Okay, it is letting you continuously evaluate your model. Now, how that takes place and what all is associated with it will come a little bit